What's up, everybody? It's Polo here with Whirly, and welcome to the first episode of the Emo Cast.
Yeah.
So today, for our first episode, we're going to be talking about My Chemical Romance's definitive and biggest album, The Black Parade. The Black Parade is a concept album that tells the story of a patient in the hospital dying of cancer who dies, spoilers, and goes to hell and joins the Black Parade. It tells the story of his learning that he has cancer, his death, and the afterlife.
Funnily enough, I didn't actually know that until after I listened to the album like 10 times. And this was like several years ago. I think I was in like 7th grade.
Yeah.
And I'd listened to it so many times. I was like, wow, I love this a lot. And back then I wasn't very perceptive about music. So when I heard it and I've started making the connection, that's what really got me started, like thinking about the idea that music has meaning to it in more than one sense. Like the songs told a story. I never thought about it like that before. So, and the fact that this album was what did that for me was pretty awesome.
The album opens with the song "The End," which is told from the perspective of the patient. It goes, "Now come one, come all to this tragic affair. Wipe off that makeup, what's in is despair." And it goes on to tell the story of, I'm dying. You know, everyone don't weep for me. I'm not the best person, but I am dying. And The End goes immediately without losing a beat into Dead, which is not necessarily the patient's death, but the patient learning of their death, learning that they're going to die. Now, whereas The End is sort of not a polka, Mama is a polka. The End is, imagine a bard in the ancient times, and that's what The End is. Throw in a little emo and you get The End. And The End. Oh, sorry, what?
I was just gonna say that the whole bard aesthetic, in terms of music, is like one of my favorite things ever. So that's kind of what hooked me on the album in the first place when I heard the first song.
Yes, and then the end contrasts with Dead, and Dead is a banger. Dead, has this amazing riff right at the start, and it's followed by this beautiful solo by the amazing Ray Toro.
Yes.
And Dead, and if your heart stops beating, I'll be her wondering, did you get what you deserve? And I personally am not exactly sure who this is told from the perspective of, but I'd like to think that it's everyone else. It's like, we've heard that you're dying. Is this?
Yeah, that's kind of the vibe that I get from it too. It's like, it could also be him talking to himself.
That's a good idea. I like that one a lot.
Yeah, I am rusty. I haven't listened to this album in a while. I'm gonna listen to it again tonight because I can. But I remember thinking about this. I was looking at the lyrics for this one, and I thought it sounds like he's talking to himself. He's having an out of body experience, or something like that.
And then it follows with, "This is how I disappear." This is how I disappear. I don't know that well. I'm going to be honest. It's a banger and a half, but it tells the story. It's again, all of this leads. This is how I hear in The Sharpest Lives, or him recounting his life and speaking all of his regrets. Both of those songs are his regrets in life. All leading up to the fucking anthem that is "Welcome to the Black Parade." My Chemical Romance's definitive song and the national anthem of the emo nation. A song that to this day, there is a code among the emo community that you cannot play the first note of that song, for it is upsetting. The songs that got me banned from a Hot Topic for playing it in.
Tell me more about that. I'm curious.
The story of the Hot Topic thing.
Yes.
So I was just there, and I had this big Casio keyboard behind me. And
Nice.
I walked in to Hot Topic with it, and I went bum 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 bum, and I got that far when the store clerk goes out, get out. All I did was play the first 4 notes. No. How dare you? But getting back on topic, Welcome to the Black Parade. That song is an anthem. That song means so much to so many people. The Welcome to the Black Parade is him dying and going to hell. It is him. The Black Parade is hell. It's him joining this march, this endless march of people. He joins the Black Parade. I've said this is redundant, but the patient, who is the main character, only known as a patient. He's never given a name.
Right.
He dies. He goes to hell, and this is hell. He sees Mother Plague and all these characters, and there's a line in the Black Parade which just goes, "Sometimes I get the feeling she's watching over me." And this, I believe, is what it ties into maybe not my favorite, but one of my favorite songs from My Chemical Romance ever, which is "Mama."
Yes. I see.
Mama. Do you know how "Mama" came about? Why that song exists?
I don't actually. I knew about it, but I forgot.
Somebody went to Ray Toro and said, "I bet you can't write a fucking polka," and he went, "Bet."
He
did it.
I love that.
Mama is amazing. It is, I would argue, the best song on that album. Better than Welcome to the Black Parade in some ways.
Oh yeah, Welcome to the Black Parade got its popularity because of its anthemic feeling. I'm certain of it, because back when it was released, anthems were like what made everything.
Yes, I mean, you had that. You had Blink-182 with All the Small Things, I suppose.
Yeah.
You had Fall Out Boy with Sugar We're Going Down.
Yeah.
You had Green Day with all of their songs.
Yeah.
But there's Mama, and the ones there's also songs on this album that I'm not ashamed to admit I don't know that well. There's House of Wolves and Disenchanted that I don't know very well.
Actually, House of Wolves was one of my favorites when I first started listening to the band as a whole, because it was like
percussion.
Yeah, it was just like, it was something more unique than I was used to.
Now, I think we can both agree that the song that is the most unique and out of place on that album is Teenagers.
Oh, I love Teenagers.
Oh, who doesn't love Teenagers? Teenagers is a banger, but Teenagers is very out of place with the theme of the album.
See, the thing about that is, like, it confuses me when I think about the theme at first, but, you know, it at the same time, it kind of reminds me just of, like, the whole insanity that he's going through when he's, like, realizing that he's dead. I think he's just reliving, like, that part of his life.
Yes, he died. Welcome to the Black Parade, where the character of the patient officially dies. Welcome to the Black Parade is followed immediately by I Don't Love You, which is him saying, "I'm dead." I believe it's him like, "I'm dead. I no longer have emotions," and he's talking to his lover.
Yeah.
I Don't Love You it's one of the few songs that has a music video, for one. And
wait, it does?
Yeah.
I feel like I should know that, but I didn't know that.
Yeah. I Don't Love You it's something else. It's really heartbreaking and brutally honest. It's just, I don't love you like I did yesterday because, well, I'm dead.
Yeah.
Or it also could be him. I actually could offer a counter view, which is after walking to the Black Parade, the rest of the album is him reliving his life, learning and having all those things. Maybe that's talking about a really bad relationship he went through or something along those lines.
Say that again?
I'm saying I think after walking to the Black Parade is when the patient dies. That is for sure. But
Yes.
I would argue, and I would say that every song after that, because you think that would be the end of it, right? But
Yeah.
I think that the rest of it is him in the afterlife reliving the life he had up to that point.
Oh yeah, that's kind of the impression that I got with teenagers and everything, because that's like you said, I don't love you. What it's it's him reliving the whole thing with his lover and like how things are changed because he's dead.
Either that or it's maybe his lover left him shortly before this.
That you might be right about that. That's not a bad point.
Other than that, right after I Don't Love You, there's House of Wolves, which I don't know the lyrics well enough to comment on that one, so I think I'm just gonna skip over it for now.
Actually, give me just a moment to pull the lyrics up.
I might do that as well. But while we're waiting, I can talk about in my opinion, the most heartbreaking song on this album, and their most heartbreaking song, or one of
the most heartbreaking song in the world.
Cancer.
Cancer,
Holy
yes.
shit, Cancer.
I've
been wanting to cover. If it's not obvious for people listening, I'm a vocalist. I like to sing, and I've been attempting to cover that song for a good 3 or 4 months now, and I cannot do it. It's too sad.
Bro, we should collab.
Oh hell yeah! Like, call my Aunt Marie. That that part gets me really hard because like tell her gather all my things. That's like there's a lot of finality in the call my Aunt Marie. Like my last of kin, or my next of kin, my loved him. Us finally realizing that he does still have loved ones.
Yeah. I know this is going to sound really strange, but the thing that hits me the most in the song is him asking for water.
Yeah, that one gets me too.
I don't know why, but it's just like the finality of that. Like, I just want some water.
I want some water. Because Cancer is right before he dies.
Right.
And also, the two lines that get me the most are call my Aunt Marie, water, and also the hardest part of this is leaving you.
Yeah.
Because that's what has kept the leaving people has what has kept me alive. And like, because I've struggled with depression and things like that, but I was like, I couldn't die. I can't die because I have people.
Yeah, there are people that are relying on us to stay alive.
Exactly.
We gotta, like, what's the point of us going if it's just gonna make other people sad?
All right, so you got the lyrics for House of Wolves up?
I do.
I'll look them up too. I was like, I gotta be careful to keep on my screen, and then I realized that I'm not gonna show my screen. This is a podcast. I got one. I know a thing about contrition because I got enough to say. He's dying, and he's probably contrition means like if I remember, it means like repentance.
Yeah, something like that. And see, the whole thing about House of Wolves is kind of it's a what's the word?
Confession, maybe.
No. It's just like him admitting that there were religious influences in his life, but it's really common in like pretty much everybody in the United States and in most of the world.
Yeah.
But he's admitting like I wasn't a part of that. I didn't really care. So here's a big, massive fuck you.
Yeah, and it's also seems to be him saying, "Yeah, I'm not the best person. Deal with it." Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I'm not a good person. I'm gonna go to hell. So fuck it. Yeah,
All right, we
it's
already talked about Mama, but I'm gonna put the lyrics for it anyway because Mama needs a Mama. Holy shit!
yeah,
Like Mama is something else. So Mama is Tim talking to not only his own mother, but to Mother Plague. And Mother Plague is a character in this. She is part of the Black Parade.
yeah,
And let's see. Mama, we all go to hell. Yeah, it's saying, yeah, we're all bastards. We all go to hell. Stop asking me. Mama, we're all gonna die. Stop
yeah,
asking me questions. I'd hate to see you cry. And that's him saying, don't ask me about me because I'm a bad person. I don't want you to know how much of a bad person I am.
yeah.
That's what I get from it.
I always forget how emotional his voice is. Wow.
Yeah.
He just the way that he, you know, like
I'd
injects
hate to
meaning
see
into
you
this song.
cry. Mama, we all gonna die. You know.
Yes.
And then when he's fucking sobbing at the end of the song.
Yeah. And the last lines are, "We're damned after all.
Yeah.
Through fortune and fame we fall. And if you can stay, then I'll show you the way to return from the ashes you call. We all carry on when our brothers in arms are gone. So raise your glass high, for tomorrow we die, and return from the ashes you call."
Yeah. It's ridiculous. Like, one, I think it was Gerard that wrote most of the lyrics because he's a writer now. Like, holy shit.
Yeah.
The man can write. And honestly, we might have to devote an entire episode to Mama later down the line.
Yeah.
Now let's move on from Mama. We can come back to it if we want to. Let's talk about Sleep.
This is one that I confess I don't know very well.
Me either. But Sleep has a story. So Sleep doesn't really have whole much to do with the story of the patient, from what I know. But when they were staying at a hotel near like before a show, Mikey could not sleep in his own room because he believed it was haunted, and he had to sleep on the floor in Gerard's room.
Oh.
Because he was terrified. And Gerard and him and all of them said they had terrible nightmares. And the first lyrics, there aren't even lyrics at first. It's just talking. Like, it's recordings of them. It's like, there are these terrors. And it's like, it feels like as if somebody was gripping my throat. And they have that repeat for a bit. And then it says, like last night, they're not like tremors. They're worse than tremors. They're like these terrors. And it's just, and then that's recordings of them speaking. That's how the song opens. It's just some like staticky sounds in that.
Yeah.
And then these first lines are insane. I'm really close to the microphone. I'm going to back off. Some say, now suffer all the children and walk away a savior, or a madman and polluted from gutter institutions. Don't you breathe for me, undeserving of your sympathy, because there ain't no way I'm sorry for what I did.
That I like still like because I remember now I listened to the first few seconds and I remember now like hearing the song
It's
when
kind
I
of shit I
had
made
the
the first time
album.
I heard it.
Yeah, it freaked me out and I still don't understand it.
If you read, I can show you an article later. If you read Gerard and Mikey talking about it, like Mikey was like genuinely terrified he was going to fucking die. He thought there was a ghost trying to kill him in his room.
Oh.
Yeah, and these are grown men, and a grown man felt scared enough he had to go sleep on his older brother's floor, so he was terrified.
Yeah, yeah.
Poor Mikey.
Yeah, poor Mikey.
Protect Mikey.
Yes.
All right, so now let's move on to teenagers. After the terrifying experience that is sleep, we get teenagers, which is, whew, I love teenagers because not only like just the instrumentals of teenagers alone is enough, and it opens with Gerard's raspy vocals. They're gonna clean up your looks with all the lies in the books to make a citizen out of you. And then
Yes.
after a few seconds in, you get the boom, 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 and
Yeah.
and in the video, they're on the stage in an auditorium in their high school, and
Yeah.
with every boom, someone hits the chained up doors,
Yeah. And the doors in the auditorium. Yeah.
and the doors suddenly burst open when the beat drops of the song, when it gets to the chorus, and
Yeah.
they all assemble, and like minions, like Gerard will pump his fist, and they all pump their fists and stand up, and people think, oh, it's like, don't be scared if you're a kid. No, that song is actually written for the adults.
Yeah. It's like be scared of the kids.
Yeah, it was. Gerard was on a subway and he saw a bunch of kids and he remembered his feeling and he was freaked out by them and he wrote it down. He was like, "These kids scared the hell out of me." I felt very old, and he was like 26 at the time.
Yeah. It's a. I mean, I still I get those feelings sometimes, and I'm only 18.
Yeah, like this song. This song was also the first song that I can think of that got them in real trouble because it had elements of school shootings in it. It had references to school shootings. If
Oh yeah.
wouldn't hurt, what you had under your shirt will make them pay for the things that they did.
Yeah.
And people said they're inciting school shootings. I'm like, no, they are not. What they were doing was drawing attention to the fact that this is going on. Yeah.
Yeah.
The boys and the girls and the cliques, the awful names that they stick. You're never gonna fit in much, kid. That was a commentary on how rampant bullying was and still is to this day.
Yeah.
Point is, teenagers is not. I wouldn't say it's underrated because it's their like second most popular song.
Yeah. But it's a lot deeper than a lot of people think.
A lot
It's
of people
not.
just think it's a banger, and it's a banger, but it's a deep banger. Now,
I mean that can really be said about like every song that they made.
true. I really want to talk about Disenchanted, but I will admit I do not know Disenchanted at all. Do you know it well?
I really don't think I do.
We might have. I'm sorry, and if anyone listens to this, I am sorry. We may have to just skip this one because neither of us know it well enough to talk about it. I'll tell you, I've listened to it enough times to tell you it's a beautiful song. The way it opens with the just dun 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 dun, and the little acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
It's definitely one of their softer songs when it starts, but I don't know it well enough. And then going back to the story of the patient, because all of this is him reliving his life. We might have to move on to Three Cheers. Yeah, we're gonna have to move on to Three Cheers because we've only been recording for 20 minutes.
Well,
I can definitely talk Three Cheers. I know Three Cheers.
I will say that there's still one song left at least that we can talk about.
Yes, we're saving that one, but there's Famous Last Words, and then there's one more.
Yes.
But Famous Last Words. Holy crap, Famous Last Words. So
I remember the video.
you know why Famous Last Words was written?
I don't. Tell me about
That's for
that.
Mikey. Mikey was like, this is really hard, and he'd had the nightmares, and he was stressed. I was like, and he went to Gerard. It's like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. And Gerard was like, it's up to you. It's your decision. And he wrote this song, which opens with, well, I know that I can't make you stay, but where's your heart? Then that repeats, and I know there's nothing I can say to change that part, which is talking about how hard it's been and how stressful it's been. And
yeah,
and he was saying this song wasn't like please stay. It was if you want to leave, you can leave because I am not afraid to keep on living. I am not afraid to walk this world alone. Honey, if you stay, I'll be forgiven. Nothing you can say can stop me from going home, which is, Mikey, if you want to move on and you can't do this anymore, that's okay. But know that I am not going to stop. So that's why the song exists. It was, Gerard's message to Mikey.
That's really wholesome. I never even knew that.
Yeah.
I like that. That's really cute.
Oh, I love Gerard and Mikey. They are quite the bro combo.
Yes.
The Way brothers are amazing.
That reminds me of a different band, but they're not emo, so we won't talk about them. We can talk about
later.
that. Yeah.
So, how well do you know Famous Last Words?
I don't know it all that well, but I mean I know it enough that it's one of my favorite tracks on the album.
So, what are your thoughts on this whole situation?
I'm just like the let's see.
It's also the patient in his. I think it's the patient in his final moment saying, "I don't want to die."
Yeah, and there's the line, "These bright lights have always blinded me."
Yeah.
I think that's kind of double-sided. It can be talking about the lights in the hospital room, but it could also be talking about the lights of like the fame that he refers to quite often in previous songs.
Yes. And like one of my favorite lines in this song is, "I'm in it. Is it hard understanding? I'm incomplete. A life that's so demanding, I get so weak. A love that's so demanding, I can't speak." And that is directly a message to Mikey. Now that you know that, if
Yeah.
it's yes, this life's demanding, and it definitely can weaken you. And that was him saying, "I love you, Mikey. I'm not gonna say anything."
That's wholesome. I love that. I love that so much.
Yes, they're the best.
Dang, now I have to listen to this album when we finish.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna listen to it. Also, make sure you listen to Bullets, because
yes.
holy shit. Anyone who is a fan of My Chemical Romance who has not listened to I Brought You My Bullets, You Brought Me Your Love, their first album, that album is so underrated.
In retrospect, I probably have listened to it, but like once, and it was probably like 6 years ago, and my brain's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
It's got drowning lessons, and Honey, This Mirror Isn't Big Enough for the Two of Us, and
yes, I do know that song.
Vampires Will Never Hurt You.
Okay, I do. I recognize some of those things. I have heard it before. I just don't remember what any of them are like.
That they won't play live because they think it's cursed.
That's interesting.
But yeah, because every time they tried to play it live, an accident happened. Like an amp blew up. They had an injury.
Yikes!
I think a light fell.
That's really weird.
Yeah.
We have one more song on this album to talk about, though.
Yes, we do. We're going to talk about two albums in this song. We can either talk about this and Danger Days or Sweet Revenge. Which one do you want to do before we move on to the final song?
What were my options again?
Which one do you know better, Danger Days or Three Cheers for Sweet Revenge?
Probably Three Cheers.
All right, then we'll talk about that one. All right, so since this is your favorite MCR track,
yes,
you intro this song.
So, when I first listened to the album, I had the CD and I had a CD player in my room, and it said on the digipack 13 tracks. I was in 7th grade, so I didn't know about bonus tracks at the time. I didn't know it was a thing. But the digipack. the digipack said 13 tracks, but when I put it in, it said there were 14. So I got to the 14th track, and it was just silence. It was a good minute and a half of silence. I was so confused.
Exactly 1 minute and 30 seconds. I've timed it.
Yeah. And then it's like the song started. And I was like, "Whoa, what is this?
Well,
it's
they encourage your complete cooperation.
yes. I Blood. I don't know why. I don't know what it is about that song, but it's my favorite MCR song. It really
it's
kind of
it's a
it
polka
kind of
and it's
encapsulates.
not, and it's so stupid.
It's so stupid and like it's just them like screwing around. I think
That's what
it's
happened. I'm pretty sure that just. Oh my god! I think I'm gonna look it up. Let's see. Let's see what songmeanings.com has to say.
Songmeanings.com.
Read more. So this, Gerard and Mikey. This one is written by Frank and Bob.
Oh.
No one fucking likes Bob. Wait, to be fair, he did do some stuff. I think he said something racist or something, and he tried to dox a bunch of people in the band.
That's not legal.
Yeah. So
Um,
I don't know what the meanings of this song are. In fact, I'm just gonna look at the lyrics and try and draw my own stuff from it, because that's what I do.
yeah.
Again. So what do you think of it?
Well, I love it to death because it seems like a kind of a just this. I don't know if you'd ever thought about it this way, but it was what was the song? I think Dead.
Dead.
Where sounds like he's talking to himself.
Yes.
Like he's got some kind of split personality thing.
Mm-hmm.
This feels like just the way that they situate it in the album and the way that it's processed, because it sounds different than everything else on the album. They did something else in the
Very
mastering.
much. I'm looking at the lyrics right now.
And it just makes me think
that really proves your point. It says, it's really quite alarming because I'm such an awful fuck. And then it says, oh, thank you.
Yes, and it sounds like he's talking to himself. It sounds like,
oh, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. When I hear this track, it makes me think like it's that voice in the back of his head that he's trying to like hide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone has that voice.
And that line right there that you were talking about.
Yeah.
I think that's this song is that back of his head voice coming out, and that one line is him trying to take back over, and the oh thank you is no, this is my song.
Yeah.
I find this song so fascinating.
Just because I also think it's sort of like some people like to say, oh, it's him coming back from the dead. I'm like, I don't think so.
Oh no, I definitely don't see that.
I can kind of hear it in that I gave them blood, like all this, like I sacrificed blood to be returned from the dead. Like that's stupid. It makes a little sense, but it's nah. But blood is like a minute and a half of just perfection.
Yeah, I think the fact that it waits a minute and a half for the bonus track is kind of funny too.
Yeah, you have to earn it.
The silence, the fact that the silence is the same length as the song, I might be reading too much into that, but I think that's kind of important too.
I'm sure it is. But
I tend to overanalyze some things, so I don't know, but
it's like, well, send your roses when they think I need to smile. Dun dun. I can't control myself because I don't know how, and they love me for it. Honestly, I'll be here for a while. God, I can kill this song apparently.
Blood, gallons of the stuff, give them all that they can drink, and it will never be enough. So give them blood, blood, blood. Grab the glass because there's going to be a flood.
Dun dun. Like
yes.
And there's so like if you and it's also again it's one of the few MCR tracks that has a video.
Yeah.
And you know when that video takes place in their timeline? It's right after the teenagers video.
Right.
It's them in the locker room after getting mobbed on stage.
Yeah. Which was weird to like when I saw that I was weirded out by that because it doesn't fit at all with where I heard the song, at least in terms of the the story of
Well, if
the
the
album.
song was right in the middle of the album, right at the beginning, it just wouldn't work. It wouldn't be nearly as cool.
Yeah, it does. I like in terms of chronology.
Yeah.
It sounds like it goes right along with Cancer. If I'm being honest.
That would
Well, like it's the other side of it, the other side of Cancer. If
Yeah.
that makes any sense. Like there's the side that's like I'm dying. Oh my god. And then there's the side like I'm gonna die.
Yeah. It's like yes, yeah. But that's about all we can say. We'll probably revisit this album if we keep doing this. We'll probably revisit this album and all of these tracks at some point. But now it's time to talk about not my favorite My Chemical Romance album, because that might be Danger Days, but definitely up there, which is 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge.
Yes.
And 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge was their second album. And holy crap. It starts off with the song. 3 Cheers opens with Helena.
See,
Oh, Helena.
Funny story about that track.
Yeah.
I had never. I was in 6th grade, and I had never been introduced to emo before at all. I had no idea what it was, and my friend, I was the kid that was like, I didn't have a phone, so I was like, dude, let me borrow your phone so I can do things on your phone.
Yeah.
And and I was looking through his music, and he had the music video for Helena saved, and I started playing it,
And you were like, what the fuck, right?
Yeah, exactly. I was like, oh my god, what is this? And I was like freaked out, and I closed it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm never touching that again. And then look where I am now. But
yeah. Holy crap, Helena! I got a gush if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
So Helena means so much to me because I'm kind of a new emo in a bit of a way. Like I'm super into it, but I wasn't into this stuff for the longest time. But I discovered Helena in My Chemical Romance, and then shortly after that, I lost my own grandmother. And Helena was written for the death of Gerard's grandmother, and it was a lot of self-loathing and anger about I wasn't there enough. I should have been with her more. And my grandmother's name was Helen.
Oh wow.
And so Helena, I might cry.
Oh.
Helena means a lot to me because I kind of felt the same way. I was like, I didn't spend nearly enough time with my Mimi,
Oh. Yeah.
So when the first song I ever covered on my music account, which is on BandLab, bandlab.com, says Polo's a Killjoy, shameless plug. Anyway,
Yeah.
so the first song I ever covered was Helena, and just Helena opens the album beautifully. Just long ago, just like the hearse you died to get in again. We are just Helena, and I dedicated the cover to my Mimi.
Oh, that's I have a song that I am the same way about, but it's not emo, so I won't go into that. But so I know what you mean when like what it's like to associate some songs to like events in your life like that, and it just makes them really hard to listen to, but it also makes them that much more beautiful.
I can listen to Helena all the time just because I love the song too much to not.
Oh, I mean, I'm the same way with that song, but it doesn't make it any easier to listen to. It still hurts. It hurts every single time.
Yes, it hurts every time.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
And I could talk about Helena all day, but I'm not going to. But Helena is, I don't really know. I know 3 Cheers tells a story, but I'm not going to go into that. I'm just going to talk about why I like the songs for this half, and that's what we're going to do. That work for you?
Yeah, that works, because I'm not as knowledgeable about this album.
Every MCR album is a concept album that I know of.
Yeah,
but I don't know it well enough to help with that. I know now Danger Days, I can kill the story on that one. We'll go into that later in a future episode.
Yes.
So Helena Helena has a story. Helena is, the video is, they're all at a funeral, and it's a very young girl, because Gerard says when no person dies, it's kind of expected. When a young person dies, it's a tragedy.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, just I can talk
The
about it all day. And
the
honestly,
video I've gone back and watched it several times now, but uh
it's a gorgeous video.
and
Oh, fun fact.
the
Did you know that
yes.
Frank is not carrying the coffin? He's too short. He's too short to carry the coffin.
Nice. I love that.
But they have a fan carrying the coffin with them too, who like won a contest to be in the video.
That's actually really cool. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to say, you know, when you look at Gerard in the music video, it
One is gorgeous.
you can, well, yeah, but you can see, like, I don't know, not everybody can, but sometimes you can tell the difference between real emotion and acting, even if an actor is like
That
really
is
good.
real emotion.
Yeah, he's actually about to start crying in the video.
Apparently, Helena was really hard to film because he broke down so many times thinking about his granny.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
Also, this came out in 2004.
Yeah,
I was 4 years old when this album came out.
I was 3.
God, stupid 4-year-old me not having good taste in music. But moving on from Helena, I don't know Give 'Em Hell Kid well enough to talk about it, so I'm not going to.
Wait, Give 'Em Hell Kid?
Yeah.
Hold on. I might actually know that one. I'm stupid and don't remember lyrics or anything, so I had to look all of them up, but...
To the End is an insanely good track. He calls a mansion not a house but a tomb. Like, so, there's a real... Do you know what To the End is? Have you heard that one? He's only touching... So send my resignation to the bride and the groom. You know, this elevator only goes up to 10. That one?
Yeah.
There's a really funny joke that I thought of, which is, what if I Write Sins Not Tragedies and To the End are the same, telling story of the same wedding, just from different perspectives?
I actually was about to say the same thing.
I don't think that's true, but it's so funny to me.
And interestingly enough, let's see. Phoebe You Can't Sweat Out was released in 2005, correct?
Yeah. It could have been influenced by it.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I've been told that without My Chemical Romance, there would be no Panic at the Disco.
And I totally am, agreement with that. If you listen to A Phoebe You Can't Sweat Out, you can hear a whole bunch of influence from My Chemical Romance and stuff like
Phoebe
that.
You Can't Sweat Out?
What?
From Under the Cork Tree.
Oh, yes.
In fact, why don't we just talk about I'm Not Okay and a couple of other things on there, and then we move on to From Under the Cork Tree.
All right.
So I'm just going to talk about I'm Not Okay, because that's my favorite My Chemical Romance song.
Yes.
Hands down. Oh my god. I'm Not Okay is a fucking anthem.
Yes.
It's just... That's how it is. When you're in high school, when you're dealing with the bullies and everything, it's just, you're not okay. And god damn it, you don't have to be okay. I'm getting so pumped up. I'm getting so worked up. I'm taking my hoodie off. Hoodie's coming off. It's cold in here.
Okay. I'm not okay.
I was trying to sing with you and you stopped. And then there's the part where he's like, I'm not gonna scream it out because there are people asleep in my house, but you really need to listen to me because I'm telling you the truth. I mean this. And then he just screeches, "I'm okay," and it's just, then you're, trust me. It's just, no, you're not, But that's how you. That is what we say.
I'm okay now.
Yeah, I'm okay. You can trust me. I'm okay. Because you don't want them to worry.
No, you're not.
You want them to get off your back.
Yeah.
When reality, people out there don't get off their back. If someone says I'm okay, they're not okay. They are not. They are not. Do not believe them. They are lying.
Here's something I learned, because I've had to deal with a lot of that. It's everyone deals with it differently. Sometimes if someone won't just won't admit that something's wrong, if they'll just keep saying I'm fine, I promise, and they get defensive about it,
Yep.
just be like, all right, you know what? I don't really believe you, but I trust you.
You have to give
So
them their
I'm
space.
just gonna leave you be,
Yeah.
and I'll check in with you tomorrow, okay?
And
Something like that.
the terrifying thing, the worst thing I've had happen to me is sometimes there's no tomorrow for that person.
Ooh,
That happened to me with a friend. They were
ouch.
like, I'm fine. I was like, all right, I'm going to call you tomorrow. And I called them tomorrow, and they didn't answer. Their parents did. And,
Oh,
yeah.
that's that hurts.
Yeah.
My my brother attempted in February,
I'm sorry.
and it was talking to him, and he was kind of the same.
Did
Not
he
gonna cry. I'm
survive?
not gonna cry. It was like the months leading up to that. I kept trying to talk to him, and he was like, "Dude, I'm fine, I promise." And he would say things that were like, obviously he wasn't.
Yeah.
But like every time I tried to talk to him about it, he might say something, and then just he would like be like, "Nah, bro, I'm fine." And then one one night, my mom woke me up at 12:30, saying that she was taking him to the hospital, and that I was going to be home alone for a while. And I was so confused, and I didn't know
Is he
what to
okay
do.
now?
Oh, he's fine now. Yes, he's getting all the help that he needs, and he's a lot more open about it and everything. So thank goodness. But
So people out there, if your friend is going through things like this, get them help. It doesn't matter if they don't want it. You force them into your car and you drive them to the rehab.
if someone is really really struggling and you can tell,
They aren't okay. Even if they say they are, they aren't.
and 9 times out of 10, even if like they are maybe not in the best like family situation, it doesn't hurt to go to their parents, because if someone is having trouble, most of the time their parents are just going to be their best support system. It'll be the best way for them to get some help. Now, that's not true all the time. Some people have some really really bad family situations,
Yep.
and you want to be careful with that. But
all right. So, point is, I'm Not Okay is an amazing song, and it's really
yes,
great if you're not okay to listen to that song, because it makes you realize you're not alone. So,
yeah,
moving on from My Chemical Romance, let's cover another emo band,
yeah,
Fall Out Boy. Or
yeah.
rather, an ex-emo band, because now they're a pop band, and they're terrible.
I would, for the most part, agree. There's some things that they've done are okay.
I will admit to liking a couple of songs on American Beauty, American Psycho.
Yeah,
Uma Thurman is a banger. I will admit that.
yeah, yes.
She wants to dance like Uma Thurman, bury me till I confess. Like
Yes,
it's
so good.
But
Some of the new stuff is okay, but it's not.
Mania was terrible. Mania was really bad. I'm just gonna be dead ass. Mania was really bad.
I
Their new song,
completely
Dear
agree.
Future Self, is really good.
I've not heard that one yet. I need to check it out.
All right, so I don't know From Under the Curtain. I love From Under the Curtain. It's one of my favorite albums, but I don't know all the songs by name that well. If I hear them, I can sing them. But let's just start with the songs that I still consider to be Fall Out Boy's song, the Fall Out Boy song, which is Sugar, We're Going Down.
Yes.
Am I more
Actually, one of my
than you bargained for you?
I am dying to tell you everything. I can't remember any more words. I feel dumb. What are the lyrics? Come on, brain.
Sorry about that.
You good?
Sugar, We're Going Down. Lyrics. All right. It's. I mean, there's not. I don't think there's a whole lot.
There's not a whole lot.
I'm gonna be
There's
honest.
not a lot to it, but they just. It's a banger.
Yeah, Sugar We're Going Down is a banger, and honestly, this is just some filler. While we're wrapping up, so let's talk about a song that does have some meaning to it on this album, which is, and also I think the most underrated Fall Out Boy song, which is Sophomore Slump or Comeback of the Year. Do you know that
Gonna
one?
be honest with you, I've never heard of that.
Are
What
we
album is that
going
from?
up or just going down? It's just a matter of time until we're all found out. Take your tears, put 'em on ice. 'Cause I swear I'll burn the city down to show you the light. That one?
I've never heard that one before.
Oh, it's the most underrated Fall Out Boy song. And there's a line right at the start it goes, "We're the therapists, pumping through your speakers, delivering just what you need." That's perfect.
That's really emo.
That's very emo, and it's also really accurate. They
It
are
really is,
they are the
because
therapists.
we rely so much on music to, like, be like an important part of our mental health.
Yeah. If I didn't have music, I'd be dead. I'm gonna be completely
Yeah,
honest. If there was not music in my life, I'd be dead.
same. I'm, yeah, yeah.
Let's see what
It's
episode we at time
it's been a rough ride,
wise.
but music has helped me through it.
So I think that's a good place to end this episode. So I'm Polo, and this is Whirly, and this has
Whirly
been
Tail.
yep. This has been the Emo Cast. We're probably gonna change the name down the line, but that was the
Yeah.
first episode. See you lads later.